All right, now this video is going to go over the settings, the proper settings. They are fully customizable to your liking, but these are the settings that I personally use and recommend when it comes to the ultimate trading package inside of our perfect entry trading system. So we're going to go by each tool one by one and go over the settings. That way you understand how to customize them. Now, the first tool we're going to go over is the session key tool. The session key tool is best used on the 1 hour chart. You can't use it on any other time frame higher than the 1 hour chart. You can go to a lower time frame. The lower time frames, the session stays the same size. Lower time frame, you can catch an earlier break. So instead of waiting for an hour candle to close above or below, you can catch it in the first initial 5 minutes that it closes, right? So the session key, the zone does not change. Now, if you want to change the colors and everything like that, I have my background black. So the session key, my settings, you will have to make sure. Now, the session key is mainly for all Forex pairs, right? You can use it on metals and indices as well. But first, you want to make sure that you have your stop pips, your take profit 1, 2, and 3 based off of pips and not points. So if you want to add a little bit more room, you can add 15 or 20. Here, I recommend 10. 10 is fine. It's 10 pips away from the zone. So if you are looking to buy, right here, notice on the 5-minute chart, it gave you a brief buy. Your stop loss is 10 pips below the zone, right? Now, notice here, this is why it's a little bit more riskier using the lower time frames. Notice you have a buy on the 5-minute chart, but if you go to the hour chart, there wasn't a buy at all, right? This was here. It wasn't a buy. It was actually a sell. So you want to make sure on the session key that you are using pips and not points. You can leave everything else the same. If you want to enable all of your take profits and your stops, you can enable those as well. That's if you're setting your own alerts. You can set your own alerts. I'm going to show you how to do that briefly in a minute. And then you have your style. You don't necessarily have to change any of this. The background, though, is where you change right here. It says plots background. If I select it, mine is on black. If I want to change the color, I can always change the color here. But I prefer black just for specific reasons. We'll get into that a little bit later. But that's basically it for the session key. Now, if you're trying to use the session key on a metal, notice it doesn't work, right? You try to use a session key on an indice, notice it doesn't work. The session key is only for Forex pairs. Okay? Now, let's go to the golden key. The golden key is similar to the session key, but the golden key you can actually use for Forex, and you can use it for metals, and you can use it for indices. So it's the same thing as the session key. It's just you can use it for all pairs, whether it's Forex, metals, or indices. And if you go on a lower time frame, the golden key zone actually gets smaller. And compared to the session key zone stays the same. But if you go on a lower time frame, the golden key zone gets smaller. That way you can probably get a more precise entry if you're looking to use the lower time frame. But again, the standard time frame is the hour. So until you get used to the system, it's best to use it on the hour period. Now, for the settings on the golden key, you want to make sure that if you are on Forex pairs, you want to make sure that it's counted as pips. But if you go to, notice here, before I go to anything like that, notice these zones, right? So you have your buy, you got to take profit 1, 2, and 3. This is 100 pips. Should be 100 pips from the entry. right? That's 100 pips from the entry. It's because it's counted in pips. Now, if you go to gold, notice for some reason the take profit 1, 2, and 3 and everything is too close together. That is because gold, silver, and platinum is measured by points instead of pips. So the only thing that you'll have to change when utilizing the golden key is if you're using it on gold, silver, or platinum, you have to go into the settings and turn it from pips to points by simply adding 1 0. Add 1 0 to each one, and then it'll go back to normal, right? You have your entry. Your entry is here. And then your take profit 3 is 100 pips. So that's basically all you'll have to do when it comes to changing the settings. All you really are changing is the points to pips or the pips back to points. Now notice we're in gold. We changed it to points. If I go back to a Forex pair, notice that your zones are too wide. Your take profit is all the way up here. It'll never make it that far. So if you're switching back from gold back to the Forex pair, and you're noticing that your take profit just looks off, you just have to make sure that you're counting pips. So here, being that it's 200, this is 200 points, which is also 20 pips. So if you're on Forex, just make sure you take off that extra 0, and you're good to go. That is basically it for the settings on the golden key and the session key. Those are fairly easy to understand. Now, the next tool is the entry optimizer. Now, the entry optimizer, we have the settings ATR period of 9, ATR multiplier of a 4.2. Now, these settings can change depending on your time frame. Now, what you want to look for, you want to make sure that your entry optimizer is giving you clean trends. You want to make sure it's clean red, then it goes to green, then it goes to red, then it goes to green. Now, if I change it briefly, let's change this ATR to, it was at 9, let's change it to 3. Just kind of mess with it a little bit. Notice how the background's kind of shifted, right? Let's turn this back to 9. I'm going to turn the ATR multiplier to a 2. It was on 4.2. Let's turn it to a 2. Notice here, this is what you don't want. So if you're opening up the optimizer on any time frame and you're noticing that it's giving you buy signal, sell, back into the buy, sell, back into the buy, it's giving you inconsistencies, that's when you want to go into the settings and just kind of clean it up a bit. Notice it's green, and it goes right back to red, green, right back to red, right back to green. It's giving you inconsistencies, and you'll get stuck in the trap, and you'll get frustrated because it's giving you random signals back to back, right? You don't want that. You want a clean green background into a clean red background. So when you're seeing that, all you have to do is up the multiplier. I had it at a 4.2. Notice now it's cleaner. Now you have a clean red background, a clean trend for the green, clean trend for the red, clean trend for the green, so forth and so on. That's basically all you'll have to do with the optimizer. Now, you'll have to customize that yourself depending on the pair, depending on the time frame, and depending on the settings. So say, for instance, if you wanted to go to a higher time frame, let's go to a 2-hour. I really like the optimizer on the 2-hour. Notice it's going in and out. So the hour time frame, it was clean. If you go to a 2-hour time frame, it gets a little choppy. Like here in this area, it's getting a little choppy, right? So you just want to make sure you go back into the settings, depending on your time frame, and you up the multiplier. Up the multiplier a little bit. Didn't change it much. Just up it a little bit more. Here we go. Now it's clean. You got a clean red background, clean green background, so forth and so on. That's basically all you have to do with the optimizer. Depending on the time frame, you'll have to just change whether it's your ATR multiplier or your ATR period, and to kind of get a feel on what you like to see in the chart. If it looks too choppy, then simply just go in and change your ATR period or your multiplier until it looks good for you. Now let's go back to the hour. Looks pretty clean to me. It's not choppy at all. Nice clean trends. Now every trade, I'm sorry, every asset may look a little different, right? So it just depends on what chart that you're on and the settings that you want to use for that chart. So that's the entry optimizer. And the entry optimizer is simply to confirm the trend. If you are in a gold trade, notice here we're on Euro, I'm sorry, not gold, we're on Euro USD. It's giving us sales. If it's giving us sales, we want to make sure that the entry optimizer, the background is red, and here's your red background. Your red background, you're in red, you can take the sale here, you record that there, take this sale here. It's giving you buys, you're in the green background, take the buys, right? That's basically how you would utilize the entry optimizer on top of the other two. The entry optimizer can stand alone, but it's simply to confirm the trend. Now it can stand alone, and you can use it by itself. You can take this buy, it's going to give you the take profit 1, 2, and 3 and the stop loss. You can take the sell here. You would record take profit 1 briefly, about 25 pips. Then it pulled back to the stop loss. But it can stand alone as its own tool, but we can use it also as confirmation of the trend. So if you're using the golden key or the session key and you're unsure whether or not you're in buyer's territory or seller's territory, you pull up the entry optimizer and just look for the background. If it's in red background, you're in seller's territory. If you're in the green background, you're in the buyer's territory, right? So the next tool is the wicked entry tool. Now, this tool, basically all it does, it counts wicks. So if you have a certain place in the market where it wicks, let's say for instance, let's find a good spot. Let's find a good spot. Here's a good spot. Okay, so you have a wick at the top, right? You got a wick, then here's another wick here, here's another wick here, blah, blah, blah. So with this, it will count the wicks. So if you have wicks at the top and it's pulling back, wicks and it's pulling back, that means it's hitting resistance and is going to sell, most likely, based off of candlestick patterns. So if you wanted to count 3 wicks, it counts 1 wick into the zone, 2 wicks into the zone. Once it hits that third wick and it doesn't break the zone, it's going to give you a sell. So our wick count here is 3. If it gives you 3 wicks into the zone, it's going to give you a sell. You can change this wick count to 4. You can even change it to 5. The real strategy is based off of 5 wicks. But you can get a little bit more trades if you change the wick count. Your stop loss, I got mine set as 10, and the peak candle set as 8. You don't really have to change that if you don't want to. But like I said, you can kind of customize the set. So if I go to peak candle and I turn this from 8 to 3, notice you get more trades. 3 by 3, you get more trades, right? If I go back to 8, notice the trades change. So it's all dependent on what you're looking for in the market, right? If you're looking for sales in the market based off of the golden key, you're looking for sales based off of the session key, entry optimizer is in seller's territory. You want to kind of just change the settings a little bit, or you can just leave it the same. You can leave it and let it go, honestly. I'm going to change mine back to 3 and 3. I just like how it catches this buy all the way up. I like that. Buy all the way at the bottom. So it all depends on how you view the chart, what you're looking for in the chart, and you can always customize these settings. Now, when they're all together, all 4 of them together, might seem like a lot, but notice we're in seller's territory, right? We're already in buyer's territory. We caught these buys. Look at these buys. Beautiful buys at the bottom. You got a brief sell. The sell was late. The sales is really coming from here. Then you got the confirmation of the sell here. These sales were late. Then you got the buys coming in. Now, the golden key and the session key, if you're getting buys and it's in the seller's territory, you can still, I would still recommend taking a buy. Like the golden key and session key, I don't care whether it's in the green background or the red background. Like I'm taking these buys. If you're just unsure, that's when you pull up the entry optimizer to confirm. Once it confirms the trend, then you know you can stay in this bad boy all the way up to the top. This went over 100 pips. And it was 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, 400 pips to the upside. Notice it started giving us sales. Golden key gave us a sale. Then the session key gave us a sale. It pulled back, and then after that, the wicked entry, was it the wicked entry? Oh no, that was the next day. The golden key gave us another sale here. The session key gave us another sale here. The entry optimizer gave us a sale to confirm, and then it went 40 to 50 pips to the downside. So it's basically just added confirmations onto the trades. There's going to be some trades where it's going to give you sales and buys, and that's when you're going to pull up your entry optimizer to see which one are you willing to take. Are you going to look for the buys, or are you going to look for the sales? Notice here, you got stairs, steps. It looks like it's going up in stairs, right? You got here, second level, third level. It's going up slowly but surely. It's going up. What are you looking for? Looking for buys, right? It's going up. So when you get this little sale candle, do you want to take it? You can, but it's higher risk. When you get this sell candle, do you take it? You can, but it's higher risk. Notice the session key is black, the golden key is gold, it's going up. The stairs, it's a stair stepper, it's going up. And then you end up in buyer's territory. So if you get this sell and you notice that the trend is going up, you notice that you're in buyer's territory, it is riskier to take these trades. You're already in the buys, right? From the bottom. I mean, you got buys coming from the bottom way down here. Unless you got taken out here. You probably did get taken out there, right? But it all depends. Like every pair is different. I don't want to hold y'all up too long. That was a perfect. These are the trends you're looking for. Woo! Look at that. That is beautiful. 1 buy, 2 buys, 3 buys, 4 buys, all the way up, all the way up. Do you take this sale? Why are you taking the sale? You're in buyer's territory. It's a risky. You can, but it's riskier. More buys. More buys. This is why this system is beautiful. When it goes on a trend like this, you can't lose. Look at these buys. It's not telling you to sell anywhere other than this one sell. All of these buys, you're hitting take profits. All of them. Look at that. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Look, and it kept going. It's still going. Then you catch the sales. 1, 2, 3, 4 sales. We're in seller's territory. Catch the sale. We're in seller's territory. We're going down. We came from here to down here. Do you want to buy? Higher risk buys. You sell. Take the sales. Take the sale. Take the sales. All the way down. We're in seller's territory. So hopefully that kind of cleared up some of the air on the settings, or how to properly set the settings on all of the pairs and how to combine them. That way you can utilize the ultimate trading toolkit inside of the perfect entry trading system. I'll see you guys in the next video.